What a very interesting question. The question is, if you say that God is Nirakar or formless, and the Ved mantra says Jyotirvai Hiranyam Hiranyagarbha Jyotiswarup Paramatma, these two appears to be contradictory. Either he has to be formless or he has to be Jyotiswarup. Because light has a form, we are able to see the light, we are able to read in the light, etc. etc. So, what is meant by Jyotiswarup Paramatma? I am not very clear. It's a very, very interesting question. See, here we must understand Yajurveda very clearly says, Na yena devaha apnuvan chakshur adi indriyani va prapnuvanti na. That means the indriya, our senses, our organs, sense organs and perception, organs of perception, etc., cannot feel or touch or see Paramatma. Chakshuhu adi indriyani va na prapnuvanti. Paramatma cannot be obtained. Paramatma cannot be seen by our eyes. So, Jyoti Swarup Paramatma does not mean the light what we see. The light which is emanating from the sun is made from Prakriti. Light is made from photons, right? Photons is made from particles, quanta particles, and quanta particles are made from further fine, minute elements, and finally from Prakriti. So the light what we see is not the light of Paramatma. The light what we perceive on a day-to-day basis inside my room, the light is glowing from the sun, the light is coming from the moon, the light is coming from the stars, the light is coming. So the light which we are able to see from our eyes, or the light which we are using in X-ray or the rays, the the electromagnetic waves which we are perceiving in X-ray or other, with other equipments, this is not the light of Paramatma. This is not about Paramatma. These are all made from Prakriti. So the real meaning of Jyoti Swarup Paramatma we must understand. And also see Hirannyagarbha Jyotirvai Hiranyam. We must understand. And one more important information we must also understand from Rigveda 10th Mandal 129th Sukta is the Pralaya Avastha, the stage of final destruction, is very clearly described. That the darkness is engulfed in darkness. That kind of definition comes in that Sukta. Means it is completely dark. And in that darkness, Paramatma was present and he was alive and Chetan, he was conscious. He was observing what is happening in the Pralaya stage. And there were unlimited Jivatma in the Sushupti stage. And of course, at that point of time, even the Jivatmas who were already in Moksha were also present, and they were also in the bliss of Moksha. They were also understanding what is happening in the Pralaya stage. And also, one more Tattva was present, which is called as Abu Namak Prakriti. The Prakriti was present, and Prakriti was in Samya Avastha, undisturbed state. And in the undisturbed state of Prakriti, there is darkness, because the definition comes in Sukta is darkness. So that means the light what we perceive today is an act of Prakriti. If the Prakriti gets disturbed, light will be created. Or light is created after disturbing the Prakriti. So, in fact, if you see Sattva-gun is one of the reason for light. We are able to perceive light because of action of Sattva-gun in the Prakriti. So, that means whatever light we are able to perceive by our imagination and thinking, etc., and by seeing is all the light of Prakriti only. And what do you mean by Paramatma is Jyoti Swarup? Paramatma, Jyoti Swarup has an inner dimension. Paramatma is the one who shows us the light. That means Paramatma is the one who is giving us the right knowledge. So Jyoti Swarup Paramatma means Gyan Swarup, one who is able to give us Gyan, one who is giving us the wisdom to destroy our avidya. Avidya means darkness. Our mind is having avidya, means our mind is having darkness. And that darkness of the mind cannot be blown away by switching on the light in the room. The darkness inside our mind is blown away by switching on the wisdom of Paramatma. By understanding the wisdom of Paramatma, our darkness, our avidya gets over. So, Jyoti Swarup Paramatma means one who gives us the wisdom of Vedas. And also Jyoti Swarup Paramatma has got many other dimensions. For example, Paramatma has created the photons, Paramatma has created the light, right? So if Paramatma did not have the knowledge of light, how he can create it? If Paramatma did not have the knowledge of the world, how he can create it? So he has all the knowledge of light also. He has the knowledge of the light. That's why he is able to create the light from Prakriti. From the Prakriti, the photon gets created. That light is not Paramatma. But the knowledge from which that light is able to be created, that knowledge is also Jyoti. That knowledge is also called as Jyoti. That's why Paramatma is Jyoti Swarup, is Gyan Swarup. So, please remove this misconception. If Paramatma is Nirakar, he cannot be Jyoti Swarup, is a wrong assumption. Paramatma is Nirakar, at the same time he is Jyoti Swarup, because the Jyoti of Paramatma is the one which is giving us the wisdom. The Jyoti of the Paramatma is the one which is creating the universe. And the Jyoti of the Paramatma knows the Prakritik Jyoti also. If Paramatma does not know the Prakritik Jyoti, we will not be able to perceive light. There won't be any creation of light, right? So these are very, very minute details which we must try to understand. If you na ena devaha apnuvan, if you are able to see anything by your eyes, that means that is not the Jyoti of Paramatma. Like some people, they do meditation sitting by lighting a lamp in a diya. They will focus on the lamp and they say that Paramatma is Jyoti Swarup, so I am focusing on the lamp. The Jyoti which is glowing from the lamp is coming from the photon. It is made from Prakriti. That is not Paramatma's Jyoti. And my Acharya, I think it's a very secretive statement of my Acharya. Once somebody asked about this Jyoti Swarup, Samadhi Avastha. My Acharya told that, pehle, in the initial stage, the light, there is a vast light that is seen. But the yogi's eyes is closed, he experiences a vast ocean of light. But after that, there is a stage that comes which is called as Nirakar Avastha, where there is only Anand, there is only Param Anand Avastha. The yogi disappears also. The yogi does not understand that he is a yogi. The yogi does not know that he is a Jivatma. The yogi gets lost inside the Paramatma, and that is called as Nirakar Avastha. And that is also called as the fourth Turiya stage in the Mandukya Upanishad. If we read Mandukya Upanishad, there is a Turiya Avastha definition coming, which is called as a very, very secretive stage. And that is the stage where a yogi reaches Turiya Avastha, where yogi disappears only. The yogi does not exist. The yogi just has the experience, and yogi does not even remember that he is experiencing. He becomes as if that he is the Anand. So we must try to understand the Jyoti Swarup, that word Hirannyagarbha. In fact, I will just, yesterday only I made one video in conversation with my wife. I was reading that mantra Hirannyagarbha. In that Hirannyagarbha, Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati says, Garbha, Hirannyagarbha. Maharishi writes, 1 minute, let me open that mantra, just 1 second. Maharishi writes, Hirannyagarbha, Hiranyani, Surya Adini, Tejamsi, Garbhe Madhye Yasya Saha. Paramatma is the one who is the center of the Surya Adi, center of the sun, center of the moon, center of all the stars which are glowing. Center means because of that Paramatma, the sun is created. Paramatma knows that hydrogen fission will result in helium formation, and hydrogen to helium formation will emanate a lot of energy, and in that the photons also will be emanated, photons will be created. Thereby the sun will be able to glow, and the glow of the sunlight will reach the earth. Thereby Paramatma created the sun. Like this, Paramatma created the architecture of the sun. So Hiranyagarbha means one who is Madhye. Garbhe means like Garbhavati we say, right? A woman is pregnant, the baby is in the center of that woman. Similarly here the Paramatma is in the center of the sun, means he is holding the sun. He is the one creating the sun. He is the one destroying the sun. And he is the one who is giving the light to sun by way of creation. He knows how to create light. from Prakriti. That's why he is Hiranyagarbha, Jyotirvai Hiranya. Even the Bhautik Jyoti, what we perceive by our eyes, is created by Paramatma, but Paramatma is not that Jyoti. Paramatma is something else which is not perceived by our eyes. So, Jyoti Swarup and Nirakar is not contradictory. We must understand what is Jyoti Swarup in depth. It's not contradictory. It is all Vedic words only. I hope you understood. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.